In this video, I'm going to show you how to make snowflakes similar to these using Adobe Illustrator. Make sure that you save your Illustrator document to your student drive because you'll be using it for a future project. First, create a new document. Go to File, New, Web, Common, title it Snowflakes with your name, and create. In this document, the first thing that you need to do is choose the line segment tool, which is right over here in the toolbox. Then let's choose some colors. So I need to open my swatches panel by going to Window, and on the alphabetical list, choose Swatches. I'm going to take the symbols panel away and close it, and then take this swatches panel and nestle it up here in my other panels. I'm also going to drag libraries away and close that. Now on the side menu here on swatches, I'm going to click to open that, go down to Open Swatch Library, Color Properties, and Cool. Here are my cool colors that look nice for snowflakes. You can use other colors if you wish. I'm going to choose this bright cyan blue color. Down here in the fill and stroke area, I'm going to use this swap arrow to swap the colors, set the fill to none, and bring the stroke forward. With the line segment tool, I'm going to click and drag. And as I'm dragging, before I let go of the mouse, hold down Shift, and it will constrain the computer to make a straight line. The next thing that I'm going to do is open the stroke panel. So under Window, on the alphabetical list, go down to the S section and choose Stroke. I'm going to put Stroke together with my cool color palette. Click to open this side menu and choose Show Options. For now, I'm going to make the weight something like 18. And I'm going to make the profile something curvy, maybe something like this one. Now I'm going to choose my arrowheads. So let's see, I will perhaps choose this one. And the size is quite large, so I am going to make that smaller. Let's try 10 for now. That looks better. Now I'm going to draw another line. So I still have the line segment tool selected in the toolbox. I'm going to click and hold down Shift to constrain that to be straight. And now I'll put some more attributes on that. So let's try size 10. And this time for my profile, maybe I'll choose this one. And if you want to flip it, you can use this toggle switch right here. So now I will try maybe an arrowhead like this one. That's pretty. And again, if you want to switch it, just simply click this swapper arrow here, and it will move the arrowhead from one end to the other. V on the keyboard to move this. I'm going to line this up here and drag it shorter. Next step, line segment tool, draw another line, hold down Shift. This time maybe I'll choose 16, and I'm going to use this profile, and maybe I will make it a little shorter. So try various arrowheads until you find one that you think looks good. Okay, I like that one, but I think I want to rotate it. So R on the keyboard switches you to the rotate tool, and then you can simply click and drag to rotate that. And if you hold down Shift, it makes it in even increments. V on the keyboard, and I'll move this over here and line it up how I think it looks good. To make sure that these are all lined up, I'm going to draw a box around them with the selection tool, and in the properties panel I'm going to choose under Align the third one over, which is align horizontal center, so I can make sure that those are all lined up together. Okay, sometimes you can't tell from looking at it like this what it's going to look like when it's rotated. So I'm going to just try it out and see. And if I don't like it, I can undo. So I'm going to click and drag a box with the selection tool around all of the shapes. Go to Object, Group, R on the keyboard for the rotation tool, and you need to indicate to the computer that you're going to rotate it from this bottom point down here, and the way that you do that is to click on that point, then hold down Alt on the keyboard, and you'll notice that you get the double arrow. Click and drag, and then after you drag for a bit, hold down Shift and continue to drag, and it will make it 45 degrees. Now there's a quick way to duplicate that. Control D, 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 Control D until you have all of your shapes. And that actually turned out looking pretty interesting. So a V on the keyboard, I'm going to draw a box around that. And I'm going to go to Object, Group, and then Object, Path, and Outline Stroke. Then hold down Shift and Alt on the keyboard to shrink that to a more manageable size. And I think this could be improved maybe if it had just a little bit more detail. So I'm actually going to make a more simple snowflake and stack it on top of that. So again, the line segment tool, click and drag, and while you're holding Shift, if I go down here to my my last colors that I used, I'm going to click on my previous color. Then I'm going to change the size to, let's try 10, and the profile I'm going to use this one, but I think I'm going to flip it. There we go. And maybe something like a dot on the end might be good. Let's see what that looks like. Oops, wrong end. So that dot is enormous. So I'm going to undo that, Control Z, and I'm actually going to draw another line while holding down Shift. I will put a dot on the end of that. Let's try this and make the size, okay, 5 looks okay. So V on the keyboard, click and drag to line those up. And I think that looks pretty good. So draw a box around it with the selection tool. Go to Object, Group, then get R on the keyboard is the rotation tool. Click to indicate to the computer that you want to rotate from this bottom point here. Hold down Alt on the keyboard until you get the double arrow. Start dragging and then hold down Shift. The computer will constrain to 45 degrees. To duplicate that, Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D until you have all of your shapes. V on the keyboard, I will click and drag to make a box around that. I will go to Object Group and Object Path, Outline Stroke. Now I will hold down Shift and Alt and shrink that down. I'll move it over the top of this one. But I need to rotate it so that it fits in the middle right there. So just by eye, that looks okay. Let me try some different configurations. And I actually think I'm going to copy that, Control C, Control F, have 2 of them. Yeah, I think that looks great. So now I will draw a box around the whole thing, go to Object and Group. Now that is one snowflake. Looks pretty good. Now it does take some practice to get used to what shapes come together in certain ways to make the objects. So I recommend that you make many snowflakes, make at least 3, and it would be better if you made something like 6 or 12 snowflakes. So as many as you can in the time that you have. Make sure that you save your changes and save it to your student drive because you will be using this for a future project. That's it for this video.